Hello and welcome to this short video where I'll be sharing with you some really useful information that you may be unaware of, which could mean that you're in danger of paying far too much in unnecessary tax, endangering your and your loved one's inheritance, and also creating future pain, stress and delays for yourself and your family. During the course of this video, together we'll be exploring more of these danger areas in detail, and also I'll be giving you some useful information and tips along the way. Now, you may have heard of the saying that there are two certainties in life: death and the paying of taxes. Obviously death is unavoidable, but reducing or eliminating tax, and in particular inheritance tax, is definitely a possibility. One of the drawbacks of this tax, apart from it being that it's very expensive of course, is that many people are just unaware of how it can affect them. If you knew you had a tax problem and were going to be passing on a tax bill to your loved ones and families to settle, wouldn't you want to do something about that? If you knew that you could prevent this, would you take the right action to do so? How long is it taking for you to build up your assets, perhaps to own your own home or build up savings and pension funds? I would imagine a lot of time, effort, hard work and money has gone into achieving this, hasn't it? And are you happy that 40% of all this could be paid to the government rather than going to your loved ones? Haven't you paid enough already? If the answers to these questions are of a concern to you, then quite clearly you need to make sure that you have arrangements in place to avoid this happening. Because the good news is that with careful and the right type of planning, this is preventable. If you don't have arrangements in place to do this for you, we can certainly help you with this, like we do for many other happy clients. Now, the paying of tax is not the only danger to your estate and your assets. The legal process that has to take place after you die is called probate. If you've written a will, you would have nominated an executor to carry out this task on your behalf. Many executors find the task of dealing with probate very onerous and quite daunting. So 1 in 2 of them will employ a solicitor or another professional to carry out this task for them. And these professionals charge fees and they're expensive. Anything from $5,000 to an unlimited amount. And you've probably guessed, these fees are deducted from your estate, from your assets, so that your loved ones and your family inherit less from you. And of course there are massive delays with probate. On average, it can take anywhere between 6 months to 2 years to complete, and sometimes beyond this as well. Now, there are steps that you can take and put provisions in place right now to reduce this aspect or to prevent it happening altogether. One other element that you also need to be aware of, and it's a huge danger area, in fact it's affecting tens of thousands of people in the UK every year, and it's to do with care home fee costs. Should you require residential long-term care in your lifetime, and you own capital assets above a current threshold of £23,250, and that includes the value of your home, you won't receive any financial help whatsoever towards these fees. It's down to you to settle the bills in full, and they're expensive. The average cost of a care home in the UK is £2,500 every single month. And in some parts of the country, the southeast of England in particular, these costs are closer to £4,000 to £5,000 per month. And statistics are showing that over 20,000 pensioners are being forced to sell their homes, which they've worked hard all their lives to own, to pay these high costs. Another danger area, and it can cause massive problems and nightmares for yourself and your family, is if you're unable to look after your affairs, perhaps through a loss of mental capacity, for example. Who would you like to be able to have dealings in your financial matters? Would it be a family member, a friend or another trusted person? The problem is that if you haven't nominated anyone who you trust to do this in a legal document that has to be registered, they would not be able to carry out these tasks for you. Even simple tasks like banking or paying bills would prove to be impossible, and it causes all sorts of problems. Also, would you be comfortable in the fact that the courts and in some cases the local authority can seize control over your affairs and have a complete say in how your money is dealt with? You may not be happy with this at all, and again it's preventable and you can take action now to solve this. Have you written a will? If you haven't written a will, I would strongly urge you to do so, and you also need to make sure that it's written correctly and that it's valid. If you have made arrangements, the good news is that you've made a decision to do so in the past, but how sure are you that the will is still adequate and will carry out your wishes? And does it deal with any of the issues that we've spoken about in this video? If you're unsure about this, you really do need to make sure that you review it. Part of our service that we offer to clients is that we do a free and no obligation review. And recent reviews that we've conducted have come as a bit of a shock, especially to people that already have a will in place. In some cases, the will is not even a valid document, which means it could be left open to be contested by other family members, which means loved ones are disinherited from the will. And again, I'm sure you wouldn't want this to happen to you, would you? So the easy way to demonstrate and to finish off this video is to use this as an example. For every £20 of your hard-earned assets that you've worked hard all your life to own, once the government has taken their 40% in inheritance tax, once the professionals have charged and taken their fees for dealing with probate, and the local authority and care homes have taken a big chunk of your money as well to pay for long-term care in your lifetime, you may be only left with £5 out of every £20 to leave to your children and your families. Would you be happy with this? Wouldn't you like to take action to prevent all or any of these happening to you? So to finish off in this video, there's 3 key steps. The first step is to first of all to find out how many of these danger areas are affecting you. Secondly, you need to make the decision to take action to solve them. And thirdly, once you've made the decision to take action, you need to do it now. Because if you decide to leave it till later on in your life, it's usually impossible to solve and prevent any of these problems we've been speaking about in this video. If you would like more guidance or would like to take advantage of our free and no obligation review of your circumstances, please do contact us on either the telephone number below or you can send us an email, and we'll be delighted to see if we can be of service to you.